Irish Coddle. First, it says to preheat oven to 300 degrees, so obviously starting with that. Start. And then to begin everything else, we gotta start with chopping up some of the bacon. So we're gonna start with this. Get this open. Cut it just to get the package open. So to start, it says to cut bacon. Just get it out into 1-inch pieces.
So good and tasty.
So the recipe calls for 1 pound of bacon, which is already measured out. And I'm just gonna cut it about 1 inch. Trying to keep it around the same length for each of these pieces. Just cut it nice and across. And then do that for the rest of them. So we now have the bacon over here, and we're just going to add it to our pot. Might take a little bit of forcing. All in there now. And then we turn this on. And then it's going to be sitting there for about 10 minutes while I keep watch on it and occasionally move it around until the fat burns a little bit, and then we have the sausage. So while we wait for the fat to melt on the bacon, we are now going to start peeling the russet potatoes. We only need about 3 pounds. So first I'll wash the potato. Just make sure it's all nice and clean. And then just get straight peeling. There we go. So the bacon has now been in there for 10 minutes. So I'm not sure if the fat's completely done yet, but while that's still going for a little bit, we're going to get the sausage going. Trying to keep it together a little bit. So it says to cut into 1-inch pieces. I'm going to just kind of split down the middle, cut it in 4ths, and then cut those into the half. Or I'm just gonna cut it in half and then cut down to the about 1-inch pieces. That could be pretty, but that's what we'll do. You add the sausage again, or add more sausage. Yeah, add sausage. Kind of keep them away from each other a little bit. We put them in there, and it says to turn up the heat a little bit and wait until they're all about brown, which should take about 10 minutes. Clean the cutting board now, since we got pork on it, raw meat. Going to do more cutting on it. You don't want to get that all cross-contaminated. Cleaning the knife. Again, use the clean, cut them raw. So to start with the onions, we're going to cut off the top piece here, so that we can then grab a bowl, take all of the skin off here. Extra skin off. Okay. Then it says to cut it in half. So find a nice spot. Oh, try not to lose it. Just slowly cut it down. Oh. Cut through right there. Then line it up like this. Just get nice. It says for thin slices. Just kind of nice and thin. That's what she. Got a little falling apart here, but it's alright. So get a nice cut, then cut. Then from here again, just cut it nice and thin. So we just took the pot off the heat, moved it off from the heat, and we're now just going to take a nice spoon. Try and be real careful with it, even if it's just tiny pieces at a time. Just grab nice chunks. Make sure you get all the fat out from underneath. Put it on there. Grab it. Let the fat drop. Put it on. So once you've now gotten all the meat out, we're then going to grab the pot very carefully. I'm going to then pour fat out into a bowl. Spill everywhere. Some stuff might have been stuck in there, but once the fat's out, and then put it. So got parsley here. Just gonna cut it right open. It asked for a cup of parsley. So as in class, just gonna eyeball it a little bit. This probably is about a cup there. Get this back in here. And then all it's supposed to do, let's get it balled up and get it nice and finely done. Like so. Let's get it nice, finely chopped up. Get any big chunks you see. Okay, this one right here. Just chop it nice and done. Next up we do is we have to quarter the potato. So you start, just try and find a little bit of a middle part. Real careful. It's gonna be a little stubborn. Just right down the middle. Then flip it over. Just go right down the middle again. Both sides. And voila. So to start, we're going to take this, move back over, turn it back up to medium heat. Then we're going to go ahead, add a load of onions. Right in there. And from there, we are going to add just a pinch of salt.
Kick it up a little bit.
So, kosher salt. Gotta do a little more than what I normally do since kosher's a little lighter. Maybe a little more. And then a 1/4 cup of water. So take a cup, add water in there. It's not a lot of water. Eyeball it out a little bit. It's right about there. Just put it on in. And then take a wooden spoon, and there's bits left in here at the bottom that you want to get all incorporated into everything. Just scrape all these bits, the sausage and bacon. Just kind of break up these onions while I'm at it. Then it says 1 tablespoon of parsley. So let me grab a tablespoon here. 1 tablespoon. Gonna go ahead and just grab a scoop. Doesn't need to be perfect. Just about close here. And put that right on there. And then it doesn't state a specific amount of pepper, just plenty. So, trying to get it a little even around everywhere. Don't want to add too much. I'm gonna say about there. Should be good for now. Might be a little much, might be too much. Smells good. We now need to add the sausage and bacon back into it. It's gonna be a little stuck to the paper here. Just layer it right on top of everything. Got some big chunks of meat rolling off. be a little bit at a time. Just gotta make sure everything gets in there. Sometimes just gotta get in there with your hands a little bit. All clean hands. And then we have to add another tablespoon of parsley here. So just gonna eyeball it out again. Definitely a little bit more, but then yet again with the pepper. Again with the pepper. Just get it nice. Since we add a lot on that other layer, I might not add as much on this layer. Alright. And then, first of all, I'm going to make sure this parsley gets moved around a little bit. It's not all in one spot. Make sure it gets a little bit spread out. Then we are going to be layering the potatoes over the meat. Get a little bowl here. So I'm going to be real careful. Not try to touch the sides, and just lay the potatoes on top. I'll give them around a little bit everywhere. A lot of potatoes. Try and get them a little bit everywhere. So next we need to do is we need to get enough water that it doesn't cover over where the potatoes are, but just enough. The recipe recommends 2 cups. Looking at it, it's probably going to need a little more than that, but I'll get try and get these 2 cups measured out here. Placed on level place. Get measured out. Add it up. Definitely gonna need maybe a cup more. I don't want it all the way up to the potatoes. Pull it out again. Got about a cup. Just put it in there. It's right up to where the potatoes would be, but not too high. And then from there, the recipe calls for a pinch of salt, yet again. About that, just kind of all eyeballing it. Get it nice and round everywhere. Made a little more, just to really let all the flavor out. Then it also calls for plenty of black pepper again. Let's get it over most of the stuff here. Alright, I'm gonna call that enough. And then it calls for 1 more tablespoon of parsley. Should look good. Just kind of get it spread out already. Then it calls for the liquid to get to a boil, and then we're going to be covering, transferring it to the oven, baking it, and then once it gets to the halfway point, we double check it, and then add more water if it looks like it's getting too dry or whatnot. And then make sure the onions are tender, caramelized. So to get this all ready, we're going to put foil right over this. Make sure to cover this side. Cover it all over. Cover this side. A bit more. Make sure it's all covered. Kind of crimp the edges so that down there. Open this up. this. Just gonna mix this up. Now we're just set simple. 2 hours. Or I'm gonna set it for 1 hour because at the halfway mark, gotta check. It's gonna have it sit in there for an hour, going to check it halfway, add what's needed, that 2 hour mark, take it out, garnish it with some parsley.
1 hour later.
So it's been an hour. We're now going to take it out of the oven and check on it. So it all depends on whether we need to add more water or not, which is really just based on how everything's looking under there. So I'm going to grab a spoon and try and just take a little peek around in there. Yeah, there's still a lot of water in there. So it's probably fine. Really just trying to see if I can see some of the onions down there. They're definitely like caramelized, but looks like I just gotta put it back in and let it sit for another hour. Alright, it has been another hour. It's all cooked up. Just gonna pull it out now. Look at that. Got a real nice color to it. Looks real good. Try and get like down in there. Where are the onions? And that's pretty much everything for the Irish Coddle.